In this 2-minute tech tip, I'll be reviewing 2 different methods to remove the steering stem races from your dirt bike or motorcycle frame. Stay tuned. So the first method is a more cost-effective way to do it with a hammer, a long punch, or a long big screwdriver like this. So the idea is to take one of those long punches or screwdrivers, put it through the stem of the frame, and catch it on the lip of that bearing race right there. So I've got the tape measure here, and I would say the bottom of the race is probably right about where my finger is. And looking at the tape measure, I would say at least an 8-inch punch would be perfect for the length that you need to pop out those races. The problem with the punch that I have is that it's actually too short and it's not long enough for me to hammer, as you see there. The long screwdriver I have provides the perfect amount of length to hit the top of the screwdriver with the hammer here, but the problem is the tip is kind of worn off for me a little bit and doesn't quite provide enough bite on the lip of that bearing race. I've used that hammer and punch method many times to knock out bearing races, and 95% of the time when you're changing these races out, the races are bad anyways, so who cares if you nick up the race when you're trying to take it out? But the second method I'm going to show you guys right now is one I've been wondering about for a long time, and it includes using this Park steering stem bearing race remover tool. And the size of this RT-2 is meant to remove inner diameters of greater than 1.25 inches, which is perfect for motorcycles or dirt bike applications. So this is actually my maiden voyage using this tool, so we're gonna find out how well it works live in this video. The opposite side of this tool is flared out in 4 pieces in order to catch that bearing race to make sure the race comes out evenly. The tool isn't gonna go in like this because it's flared out way too wide. So what you need to do is feed it up from the bottom side of the frame and then pull it through. Looks like you'll hear it snap once it goes all the way into the frame, and then it'll catch those 4 prongs right on that bearing race. You'll notice how I got a piece of wood here to help support the frame so it doesn't get damaged. But next up, we'll just take that hammer and hammer down on this Park tool to see how easy it is to get this race out. And it's out. I gotta say, that's probably some of the best monies I've ever spent on a tool. My plan is to reuse the races because they're still good and I didn't want to nick up the edge, and that Park tool worked perfectly. So I'm gonna paint this picture in your head. You're working on your bike and you expect something to take like 2 minutes, but ends up taking like a half hour or some outrageous amount of time. Well, this was the complete opposite using this Park tool. I expected it to take a couple minutes and it actually took like 30 seconds. If you think in the way of time is money, this is money well spent. I've definitely spent my fair share of time banging and banging and banging using the punch method, and that method is totally fine and it works. I also suggest using some heat on the inside of the frame to help heat up that race to make it come out easier. But like I said, this is my first time using this Park tool method, and you can tell how excited I am and how easy that process was. But ultimately, it's up to you guys which route you want to use. I know those punches can be used in a variety of other situations, but I got this Park tool off of Amazon. It was 35 bucks. It was $5 more expensive than Rocky Mountain, but Rocky Mountain was out of stock and I didn't know when they were getting them back in. So I spent the $5 extra. It was free shipping with Prime, and it arrived at my door the next day. If you guys have any questions on that process, definitely leave a comment for me. As always, I've linked all the tools that I used today in the description below, but that's all I got for this 2-minute tech tip on how to remove those steering stem bearing races from your dirt bike frame. Ride hard, be safe, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.